Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Graphic Word Podcast, here to connect nerd culture to faith and leveling up our lives as we go about it. Thanks for tuning in, and here's what we have in store for you today. Kaiju number 8, NES, and Retro Wisdom. Lately, I've been reading this awesome manga series that I highly recommend you guys check out. It's called Kaiju number 8. And it features this young man, Kafka, who essentially is part of this police force that tries to take down these giant monsters, or kaiju, in Japan. What I really like about this guy is Kafka is an older dude. He is not one of these young bucks that are out there fighting. He's actually 32, which is kind of relatable with me at 34. And even gets the term old timer throughout the series. Man, talk about feeling it in your knees. Kind of reminds me of how I feel when I'm hanging out with my kids. But really, it made me start going into nostalgia mode. Having memories of playing Super Smash Bros. On my NES or Nintendo Entertainment System when I was a kid. Or, loving the old school retro games like Golden Axe, Double Dragon, or even, dare I say, E.T. Yeah, some of you might have cringed when I threw that one out there. But really the cool thing in this process of nostalgia and retro gaming and stuff like that is you learn a lot of tricks of the trade. You pick up some things that now invest into your gaming in future games. And especially now that I've got kiddos who are kind of learning about video games, I'm bringing them back to the basics, to the old school vibes, and really trying to impart my gaming wisdom to Mark. The funny thing is whether he will sometimes take that wisdom, or if he just begrudgingly goes, "Oh, no, I can do it. I've got it figured out, Dad." But isn't that the funny thing about wisdom? That it's something that we impart, we share with others, and giving them an opportunity to learn and grow. This made me think of some old timers in the Bible, particularly, like when Moses is addressing the nation of Israel before he passes the torch to Joshua, before they're just entering into the promised land in Deuteronomy 30, where he's talking about how right before them is either the path of life or death, choosing to follow God or do things on their own. And awesomely, ironically, the one that takes up the mantle after Moses, Joshua, in his final address to Israel, says something very similar to those lines in Joshua 23 and 24, where even the challenge is the reminder to not get connected with the old gods like they were doing in the past, but also remembering who will you serve, with the affirmation that Joshua's family was going to serve the Lord. We even see this with Solomon in Proverbs chapter 1, verses 1 to 7, where he's passing on wisdom to his kids. Let me read it for you. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, David's son, king of Israel. Their purpose is to teach people wisdom and discipline, to help them understand the insights of the wise. Their purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives, to help them do what is right, just, and fair. These proverbs will give insight to the simple, knowledge and discernment to the young. Let the wise listen to these proverbs and become even wiser. Let those with understanding receive guidance by exploring the meaning in these proverbs and parables, the words of the wise and their riddles. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. My child, listen when your father corrects you. Don't neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck. Sorry, I had to add the last two verses, 8 and 9 there. It's just too good. But really, that's what we need to sit on. We need to look at what is wisdom. We need to listen to our elders. We need to be able to look for those Uncle Irohs or these Kafkas who come around and show the young bucks a thing or two. that they're not completely useless if they're physically unable to meet up to standard, but their minds are sharp. They are able to contribute. They have something to offer. So, what is some wisdom that you have been given that you need to hold on to? Who are those Kafkas who are speaking to you and walking alongside you in your journey? Who are the Moses and Joshuas who are calling you to really examine what's going on around you? Heed the wisdom. Hey there. If you are a fan of the content that's been brought to you in this episode, you'll definitely want to check out our social media connections. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok. Just go to @GW Nerds and you'll be able to find all the stuff that we've been doing lately and all the fun stuff that we get to be a part of. But if you want an even deeper dive, you should join our Discord community. And you can do that by going to discord.io/GW Nerds Unite and be a part of what we're doing. Interact with us, chat with us on live for our video game nights, for our Bible study nights, or even just to connect with fellow gamers, nerds, and what interests you. And if we want to take it even a step further, if you've got some ideas of, what would be cool topics to bring up down the road, or have some questions on how your nerdom might connect to faith, we'd love to have your input there on our Discord channel too, to be able to create the content for you guys, because this is what we're here for, to invest in nerds, to grow and level up together, but being able to grow in our faith and level up too. So thank you again for listening. Hope you are having a wonderful day.